So terrorism's a real thing, and if you want to deal with it, there's a couple of ways of doing it. One way is to stop your own terrorism. So terrorism's a real thing, and if you want to deal with it, there's a couple of ways of doing it. One way is to stop your own terrorism. When the U.S. and Britain invaded Iraq, they were aware, that is very likely to increase terrorism. In fact, that was the analysis by intelligence agencies, experts, and so on. And it happened. Terrorism increased by a factor of 7 in the year following the invasion, according to U.S. government data. Well, yeah, but it's just not a high priority. So terrorism's a real thing, and if you want to deal with it, there's a couple of ways of doing it. One way is to stop your own terrorism. That makes a big dent in it. The other is to stop supporting the sources that encourage it. Another is to just to do what the British finally did in Ireland, pay a little bit of attention to the grievances that lead people to give at least sympathy or sometimes direct support for terrorism. And the terrorists, of course, criminals, so find the criminals, apprehend them, give them fair trials, and so on. That's the way to do it. None of this is being done. Just take fair trials. There are people kidnapped, actually, they claim, captured in all over the place, Afghanistan, wherever they are. And they're sent to, we know where they're sent to. They're sent to Guantanamo, Abu Ghraib, Bagram, and so on, where they're tortured brutally, and that creates terrorists. In fact, the people on the ground who work there, the interrogators and others, the intelligence people, they say that Abu Ghraib and Guantanamo have probably created more terrorists than Osama bin Laden ever did. Yeah, sure, that's the way to do it if you want. But to say that they're trying to combat terrorism is just a joke.